what are microorganisms? So microorganisms are the living organisms which are very tiny in shape that those are not visible by naked eye. So we need to use microscope in order to see them. Okay, microorganisms are classified into different groups, right? What are those groups? I am talking about microorganism, overall microorganism. You must revise it every day. And do we consider viruses as microorganism? Do we consider virus as a living thing or non-living thing? This is still doubtful issue whether we should consider it as a living entity or non-living entity. Because when viruses are outside the host cell, you know that virus require host cell. Without host cell, it's nothing, right? So viruses, we do not consider it as a living thing because it need some host, and then only it will be it will grow or reproduce itself when it has host. We consider it as a obligated parasites, okay? Because they are inactive when they are outside the host cell. Okay, got it? What are the types of bacteria depending on its shape? We have 4 types of bacteria depending on its shape. So first one is spherical bacteria. We can call it as cocci. Okay, so you have Streptococcus as an example of this. Then Streptococcus or Staphylococcus. Then you have other bacteria, those are in rod shape. We call it as Bacillus. Okay, so you have Bacillus subtilis, then Lactobacillus. These are the example of this bacteria. Then you have third one is, which one? Spiral one. So you call it as Spirulium. Okay, and the example of this is Spirulium minus, right? And third one is Vibroid. So those are comma-shaped bacteria. So I will show you some photographs how it actually looks under the microscope. Okay, this is how actually they look when we look it under the microscope. These are spherical shaped bacteria. Okay, after gram staining, you can those bacteria will be visible to you in this format. Okay, so these are cocci. Okay, then you have rod-shaped bacteria. They will look like this under the microscope. Okay, then you have spiral bacteria. They look like this under the microscope. And then you have comma-shaped bacteria, which look vibroids. They look like this. Okay, so then we have you must have drawn the diagram of bacteria, structure of bacteria. You people have confusion about eukaryotic cells and prokaryotic cells. So I will explain it to you, and then we will proceed for what are exactly bacteria. Because see, algae are eukaryotic cells, okay? Then fungi are eukaryotic cells, but you must understand what is prokaryotic and what is eukaryotic. We won't go in detail. We will just I will just give you an idea about what is prokaryotic and what is eukaryotic cells. So you can see this is your prokaryotic cell on the left hand side, and you have eukaryotic cell on the right hand side. Okay, so basically if you see, the structure of prokaryotic cell is very simple compared to your eukaryotic cell. Why? Because eukaryotic cell you can mostly the multicellular organism, the organism which are multicellular, they mostly consist of this type of cell. Because see, multicellular organisms tend to do more work, they need to do more functions, they require more energy. For that, they do need different kinds of cell organelles. Okay, so if you see here, this is the nucleus, where you have all nuclear material. You have DNA, RNA, everything that will guide your cell to do all the kind of work. So it's like a brain of your cell. Okay, so normally what does brain do? Brain guide us to do everything, right? it tell us how to walk, how to say anything, right? So basically brain controls each and every action of ours, right? So in case of cell, this nucleus guide them what to do, what not to do. So it guide the cell to do everything, each and to perform every function. Okay. In case of prokaryotic cell, they do not have this nucleus. They have their nuclear material in scattered form. Scattered form means it is present everywhere in the cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is nothing but the fluid material that is present in your cell. Okay, where you have all ribosome, nuclear material. In case of eukaryotes, you have different cell organelles. Okay, so cytoplasm is something it is in a fluid form. Okay, where it consists of different organelles or cell material. Okay, so if you see in eukaryote, you have endoplasmic reticulum, which perform the function of photosynthesis. Then you have ribosome. Then you have nucleus, which guides us what will be the genetic material of your cell, what protein you must synthesize, what lipid you must synthesize, or which protein will go to which cell, or which lipid we should transport. So that so nucleus will guide the cell what to do and what not to do. Okay, so here it will have nucleus membrane. So it is something like what you have over here. So nuclear membrane separates the nucleus from the other organelle. Okay, so it's like a boundary. Okay, then you have Golgi apparatus, which help to synthesize different carbohydrates. Okay, then you have carbohydrate and lipids. Then you have cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is a fluid material. Then you have mitochondria. So mitochondria is nothing but powerhouse of the cell, which generate energy for your cell. So whatever activity you do, it depends on your mitochondria. It generates ATP. You must have heard about ATP, right? Okay, then you have chloroplast. Now chloroplast is mostly present in plant cell. It is not present in animal cell, but there are some exceptional cases. Okay, but mostly the chloroplast is present in plant cells to do the function of photosynthesis. For the function of photosynthesis, we need chloroplast. Okay, actually the photosynthesis occurs in your chloroplast. Okay, now in case of prokaryotic cell, if you see here you have ribosomes. So ribosomes are mostly to synthesize different protein. Okay, then you have nuclear material. This will guide the cell what to do and what not to do. Okay, then they have this flagella. This is the locomotory structure which helps them to move. Okay, now in multicellular organism we do have legs and everything, so we can move. But how do the prokaryotic or unicellular organism will move? So with the help of this flagella. Then some organism may have cell wall, some may not have cell wall, but maximum bacterial cells or prokaryotic cell have cell wall. Okay, then they have cell membrane, which separates cellular membrane and cell wall. Okay, so it separates your cellular content from the cell wall. So you have first cell membrane, then you have a cell wall. Okay, then some bacteria, not each and every bacteria have capsule. So capsule is some protecting membrane outside the cell wall, which protects the bacteria from from the surrounding environment. So there may be the bacteria which are in hot spring. So they have in hot spring you have a high temperature. To protect the bacterial cell from that high temperature, they might have this capsule. Okay, so basically it is kind of protection. To give them protection, they may have capsule. So this is your prokaryotic cell. Since it is a unicellular organism, they need not need to do more work. So their cell is in a simplest form. Okay, and your eukaryotic cell has some complex function and complex organelles. They have n number of organelles. So have you understood difference between prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell? We will see in detail when we will study this chapter cell. Okay, in that we will study what is actually prokaryotic cell, how does it work actually, and the eukaryotic cell, where we will see the functions of different cell organs. So this bacteria may present in extreme conditions. Okay, and for that they have different organelles, not organelles, they may have different fluids around their cell, or they may have different enzyme by which they can protect themselves. Okay, like we do have immune system, we use vaccines to boost our immune system. They have same thing but in different way. Okay, that we will study when we will discuss the prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell in cell chapter. But yes, there are bacteria that those bacteria live in extreme condition. It may be a high temperature condition, it may be acidic condition, or highly alkaline condition. You know now what is acidic and alkaline condition. So you have high acid content in that environment. Even they may present in extreme condition, like they may present in ocean where you have high salt content. So you know that there are some plants which live underwater in sea water. So those organism or those plant or those bacteria are developed in such a way that they can sustain or they can live in that temperature, or they can resist that temperature, or they can resist that environment. Okay, so their cells are specialized in that form. This is not the this structure of bacteria is basic structure, not necessary this will be the structure of every bacteria. Okay, this is the basic structure, that you will have cell wall, you will have ribosomes, you will have nuclear material, then you will have this flagella, locomotion. But I cannot say that this will be the structure of each and every bacteria. Okay, they may have some specialized organ or specialized organelles. Okay, so we will proceed. So we have done till the diagram of bacteria, I guess. So see, this is your cell membrane, cytoplasmic membrane, and then you have this cell wall. So it will protect the cell of the bacteria from the surrounding environment. So it may present in water, it may present in surface, it may present on the surface of our skin or the surface of the different animals, okay, or plants also. Okay, you must have doubt, okay, we are done with its structure, but how they utilize food, or from where they get the food. Okay, so what do you think, from where they get their food? Yes, so have you seen curd in your house? We keep it as it is on room temperature. So in sunny days, so in summer, if you keep the curd at the room temperature, have you seen the layer of water around it, which is bitter in taste? If you taste that curd, yes, why is it so? Why it is bitter in taste? Yes, why actually why milk is get converted into curd basically? Yes, have you any idea why it is why milk get converted to your curd? Yes, because of bacteria. Okay, so lactobacillus are the bacteria which produce in concentration, which multiply itself in your milk, because of which the milk gets converted into curd. And if you keep that curd at the room temperature, mostly we keep it in the fridge, right? But if we keep it at room temperature for, let's say, 1 or 2 days, it get spoiled, right? Why is it so? Because the number of bacteria gets increased. That's why the curd gets spoiled. Okay, so basically milk is nutrient for that bacteria, because of which it grows in number, and when it grows in number out of its limit, the your milk or your curd gets completely spoiled. Okay, have you understood the concept? Now, if you have any idea about autotrophs and heterotrophs, what are autotrophs and heterotrophs? Okay, so autotrophs are the organism which synthesize their own food. Now, they may synthesize their own food with the help of light, that is sunlight, okay, or they may produce their own food using different inorganic compounds like sulfur. So the organism which produce their own food with the help of light, we call it as photoautotrophs, and the organism which synthesize their own food with the help of different chemical, let's say inorganic compounds like sulfur, we call it as chemoautotrophs. So our plants are phototrophs, photoautotrophs or chemoautotrophs. So do you understand the word photosynthesis? Photo means what? Light. Light to synthesize your own food. So this is nothing but photosynthesis. That's why we keep plants outside the house, right? Because so that they will get light from the sun and they can produce their own food, because we do not provide them any food. We take the food from them. Okay, so basically your plants are autotrophs, photoautotrophs. So with the help of sunlight, they produce their own food. Now the next category is heterotrophs. Heterotrophs are the organism which depends on others to complete their food requirement. So are we heterotrophs? So we are heterotrophs because we do depend on plants and even animals to complete our need for food. Okay, to complete our requirement for food. Okay, so we are come under the category of heterotrophs. So heterotrophs are the organism which depends on different organism for the to complete their requirements regarding foods. So there are 3 subtypes under the heterotrophs. One is parasite. So parasites are something which depend on other living organisms or plants to obtain their food. Okay, so they are depend on living thing for to complete their own need. Okay, then there is the saprotrophs. Saprotrophs means the organism which obtain their food from the dead and decaying matter. So you must have idea that when we bury some dead animal, after few days it get vanished. Do you have that idea? When we bury some animal in the soil, in the soil, it get disappear after few days. Okay, so though the bacteria which is present in the soil, they are mostly saprotrophs. So they obtain their food with they obtain their food from that dead animal. Okay, so they are saprotrophs. Okay, then there is a symbiotic association. It is not given in your book, but symbiotic association in which the bacteria or different bacteria live together. They provide some food or protection to the other bacteria, and other bacteria in return gets food from them. So one bacteria may provide the other bacteria some material or some food or shelter, and other bacteria in return will give them food. So do you have any idea about rhizobium bacteria? Yes. So have you seen root nodules? So the rhizobium bacteria are the bacteria which are present below in the soil. So they get shelter from the root of the plants, and they provide nitrogen to the plants, and in return they get shelter and food from the plants. So those are rhizobium bacteria. Okay, so we will write it down now. So write down nutrition of bacteria. Over here, so the organisms which are involved in symbiosis association, they may help each other. Okay, so have you heard about lichen? Lichen is an example of some symbiotic association. So where fungi gives shelter to algae, and algae gives food to the fungi. Okay, so this is the example of symbiotic association in case of only symbiotic association. And in case of bacteria, if you want example, then rhizobium bacteria is the example of symbiotic association. So the rhizobium bacteria are present in soil. The roots provide them the shelter and the food, and they in return they provide nitrogen to the plants. Okay, so leguminous plants are the plants where this rhizobium bacteria grows. Okay, so again bacteria are divided into two categories depending on the oxygen need. So do we need oxygen for respiration? There are some organisms and which do not need oxygen for their respiration. So bacteria are basically divided into two categories, that is aerobic bacteria who requires oxygen for their respiration, and another one is anaerobic bacteria who do not require oxygen for their respiration. So bacteria are categorized into two categories, aerobic respiration and anaerobic bacteria. Aerobic bacteria are the bacteria which requires oxygen for their respiration, and anaerobic bacteria are the bacteria which do not require oxygen for their respiration. So write it down in this form. No need to write much, just remember that aerobic bacteria are the bacteria which requires oxygen, and anaerobic bacteria are bacteria which do not require oxygen for the respiration. Okay, understood? Okay, now we will proceed for the reproduction of bacteria. So how they multiply actually? See, every living organism needs to multiply itself in order to sustain in its on the earth, right? So bacteria also gets bacteria also reproduce itself. So how do they reproduce itself? So basically the life of bacteria is short. Life cycle of bacteria is very short compared to our life. Our life is like 60, 80, 90, or in some cases 120 years, right? But the life cycle of bacteria is very short. It may be for 5 hours, 10 hours. Okay, so bacteria divide itself on the interval of 10 minutes. Okay, so in the interval of 10 minutes they can multiply itself from one bacteria they can, so from X quantity they will convert it into 2x quantity. So they multiply in itself in that rate. Okay, so they divide or reproduce itself by the help of binary fission. This is the asexual type of method by which they reproduce itself. So from one parent cell they form two daughter cells. Okay, so here can you see this figure? So this is the normal cell of bacteria. Here what happens is your nuclear material gets separated in equal quantity. Okay, so it multiply itself and gets separated. Then your cytoplasm gets separated, and your each and every cellular material, that is ribosome or anything else, is there in your cell, that gets divided into two parts. Okay, and after which the two new daughter cell is formed. So from one organism or one parent cell, you will have two daughter cells. So this is how the bacteria reproduce itself. Okay, have you understood? So you have one cell of bacteria. If you want to reproduce itself, what will happen? Everything, the nuclear material or the cytoplasm, whatever your cell content is there, it will divide into half. Okay, equal part. Okay, and then after that there is a division of this material into two, and after few minutes that one cell will be converted into two cells. Okay, this is how the reproduction of bacteria is formed. So from here, if this cell wants to divide further, so from here you will have two more daughter cells. Okay, and from here you will have two more daughter cells. Okay, so this is how they will divide. From here again you will have two more. Sorry, not this big. Okay, and again here you will have two more. So if you see, it is 2 raised to n. This is how they multiply itself. Okay, so when you have one division, you will have, from 1 you will have 2. When you have 2 division, from 2 you will have 4. So see, from this you have 4, right? From, if you have third division, you will have 8. So see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and here again you will have 2. So understood? This is how they divide. So binary fission occurs in the formula 2 raised to n. So from one bacterial cell you will have two daughter cells. From 2 daughter cells you will have 4 another daughter cells, and from 4 daughter cells you will have 8 daughter cells. So this is how in this speed they multiply itself. Okay, so now draw this diagram of binary fission. So this is the diagram of binary fission. So this is your nuclear material. Chromosome is nothing but your nuclear material. So you can also write it down as nuclear material. DNA replication means it forms its replica. Replica means exact copy. Okay, so here they are saying DNA replication means the quantity of DNA is getting double. It is forming its replica. Okay, so DNA replication means forming replica of itself. Replica means exact copy. So that we will end here about bacteria. In next lecture we will start with viruses.